Yeah. Good morning, participants. My name is Subramaniam. I am the host for your event. We started this Atlassian Vishakhapatnam chapter in the month of November 2020, and this is the 13th event from my chapter. The basic agenda of this chapter and getting the speakers for the events is to get the knowledge distributed for the Atlassian platform, which is the number one project management tool. So we have various vendors, marketplace plugins and apps which are working with Confluence, Jira, Trello, and Bitbucket to enhance the software and to make the job and the project management easy and visible. As part of that, for today's event, we have Viswajit and Abhay. They are from Amrut Software. If you heard about Amrut Software, they are the number one. They're the first Indian company to have a plugin for the user stories to be integrated with Atlassian Jira software, and they got their own plugin which we can customize with the built-in features that elevates the user stories writing and how you project to the management, the hierarchy level at the project and program levels. Having said this, our speaker is Viswajit
Hello,
Singh, and Viswajit, over to you. Please introduce
hello.
yourself. Yeah, you're audible, Viswajit. You're audible. Yeah, Viswajit, you're audible. Abhay is.
Hello.
Yeah, Viswajit, we are able to hear you.
Okay, okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
over to you, Viswajit. Please introduce yourself and about the plugin and the company.
Sure. Thanks, Subramaniam and AUG community for inviting me for this event. Really appreciate you on Saturday morning coming and joining this talk. So, my name is Vishwajit Singh. I'm Chief Technology Officer at Amrut Software. So I have over a decade plus of experience working with Atlassian tools, helping customers adopt the tools in better way and extracting a ROI from their tools investment. So that's what I have for a while. So I have worked with companies of different sizes, Fortune 500 to SMEs to startups as well. So we at Amru Software are platinum solution partners. So we are one of the largest partners in this part of the world. So we have been basically working with Atlassian as the first partner who brought Atlassian into this part of the region, right? So we basically have been, our association goes long, and till date we are one of the largest partner in this part of uh, so now I have a small presentation which I'll walk through you. So basically, the quick flow would be I will be running through you some presentation which will talk about estimations in general, and then we will be talking about USEP as a platform, how it basically helps companies to improve on their estimations. And then my colleague Sushant, who has joined us, will be basically walking you through the live demo of the tool itself. So I hope everyone is able to hear me clearly, right? Hello.
You're audible.
Okay, thanks.
Participants, you can ping in the chat window if you have any queries. We already enabled the audio option for you. If you want to speak, that's okay. Otherwise, you can ping in the chat window. Viswajit, you're audible at the moment.
Okay, thanks. So I hope you are able to see the slide screen. Yeah, the presentation. So basically, agenda for the day is like better estimation with USIP. So USIP is a platform which has been engineered by Cornerstone Analytics, and we have worked with them to basically bring it that capability in the Atlassian ecosystem, right? So that's the agenda of the day, which we'll be talking about. We'll quickly introduce USIP benefits, and we'll talk about the features which are there in the application, and then we'll be followed by live demo. So Q&A at the end of it, but you can always ask a question. Feel free to basically ping your questions, and maybe if you could just unmute yourself. So I want this to be an interactive session as much as possible, so that we are able to basically get most of our time which we have today for an hour or so today. Okay, so I think the first question is what are really estimates, right? So the estimates are typically, if you look at historically, it's just a guesswork based on the experience of a person. If you ask, give a same task to 10 people, they may be giving you 10 different estimates. So it's historically has been driven more like a guesstimate, as I call it. So it could be basically supported by some of the experience of different people. So that's the which basically that adds to a lot of ambiguity in the estimation as a practice. So that's where I think we definitely need a better estimate. So why do we need better estimates? So I'll just share a small cartoon snippet with you, right? So if you ask an inexperienced developer, he may just say that it is going to take a 2 days. So there's a feature which needs to be implemented, he would say typically a 2 days or 3 days kind of thing. And if you ask the same thing to an experienced developer, he might say that it's going to take 2 weeks, right? And same goes with the project manager, right? So typically the estimates are optimistic. So the more experience, more cautious eventually you become, right? And when I think the last is just for the fun element, that if you go to the sales, they would just come up with even like more stringent deadlines, right? So that's the reality we live in, right? So these are some statistics. So as many as 80% of software projects run over their initial estimations. So that's a statistic which has been come like, and 66% of, as per McKinsey, there are cost overruns in the projects, right? So that's a staggering figure, considering that we have been doing software development, software engineering for so many years, but still there is basically the primary reason for that is that the 90% of the development which you will do take the first 90% of time, and the 10% which is the known unknowns basically, which is going to take your another 90% of time. So basically that's the challenge we face today as a development engineering companies, that okay, this is the challenge which is there primarily from the perspective of not being able to do the projects. A lot of projects get cancelled before completion, right? So all these challenges are there primarily because of the lack of the right to be able to do the estimate. So how you hurt your missing estimations, right? Why estimations are so critical, right? So first of all, I think the most important part is that you lose credibility with your client. So if you are not able to meet your deadlines which you have given, you are going to definitely lose credibility, and then your team will be at the receiving end. So team will be basically, the morale of the team drops when they are constantly failing to hit the goals, right? If you set a particular deadline and you, then there's a basically a morale drop which happens eventually in the team, and it affects the team in general, right? So one of the challenges which is going to hurt you in the long run. And your project is in danger of being scrapped, right? When the team and client both are happy, then you say, oh, I don't want to continue, and all those challenges which crops in, right? And there is a likelihood of project getting scrapped or maybe getting reassigned to somebody else. So what actually leads to all this is the manual estimates tend to be optimistic, which actually leads to overruns. Like if you look at historically, it's like, what do we call it, optimistic bias, right? So we are always like biased toward optimistic path. So if you are going to do something, you would always think of a path which is like kind of optimistic. You will not consider the worst case scenarios, or you will not be taking into the consideration which could possibly lead to be considering of the known unknowns, right? Still people would be possibly able to consider, but unknowns are the biggest problems in any software project, which could basically lead to overruns. So but that's primarily driven by the fact of, which is like optimistic bias, as we call it, and which basically leads to one of majority of the getting overruns. So what's the solution of all these problems which I talked about? The solution is using historic data to basically calculate the future estimates, right? So if I as a developer basically historically record how much time I typically take, and then eventually basis that, if I am able to say that okay, this is what it's going to time, that's still like a good start in terms of that. Basically, I'm not really taking that decision on the gut feel purely, but I am taking a decision which is basically driven by the data, right? So, as the famous saying, sir, right? So only God, in God we believe. Rest other people have to bring data. I think one of the most crucial piece of information which could basically lead to you make more intelligent and more better decisions, right? So that's where I think the I'm not sure how many of you heard about Joel Spolsky. He basically came up with a concept of event-based scheduling. So you basically record everything which has happened in past. So every developer basically keeps a track of all the estimates which he has made in the past. What was the deviation, what's the variance which happened, and based on that you basically take a decision. So that basically helps you in terms of making better estimates. Not that it's like kind of estimates which are going to be like 100% foolproof, but still it's like better than a gut feel decision, or more of like a guesstimate we typically do, right? So you could do that through a hard way, but we, along with Atlas, with Cornerstone Analytics, we have brought a platform which basically does it for you. So that I'd like to introduce USIP platform. So USIP, as the name stands, is user story effort predictor. So basically, it takes the user story as a and basically comes up, breaks it down into tasks and comes up with a ballpark estimates. The estimates are primarily driven by the historical data which it already has, and also the organizational data which you will eventually keep on feeding it. So it's basically, there are three components to it. So USIP, it basically helps you to get early phase estimator. So if you really want to do suppose you are bidding for a project and you want to get just a quick estimate in terms of to validate what you have basically manually may have done it, right? So you could use early phase estimator. Then there is a user story effort estimation which we are going to talk about today. Is primarily with it. Basically, once you have defined your user stories, so typically the challenge comes when it goes to the developer will estimate in some particular manner, right? So but whether those estimates are correct or wrong, there is no basically way to find that out. It's primarily driven by the experience of the project manager or the technical lead who validate that. So as I said, if you are able to correlate that with the data, I'm sure that is going to basically add more value in terms of basically being substantial in data to basically able to quantify that okay, this information is correct or this information is wrong. So as I mentioned earlier, so you could basically do a sprint planning. So when you are doing your user stories, you could basically break it down into the task. So if you want to implement a particular story, you just that goes to the USIP engine. USIP engine is going to break it down into tasks, and each task are going to get an estimate based on the historical data. So you would be basically giving a ball figures in terms of what as per the time taken should be. It takes in consideration a lot of things like the proficiency of the developer, because it cannot see the system cannot work in isolation, right? If there is a developer who is experienced, he may take much less time than the person who is basically has a nominal competence. Those things are taken into consideration, right? And the complexity of the task and all those kind of things are also taken in consideration along with the historical data. A number is basically shown to you in terms of that. You could accept that, you can actually accept that, or you could basically correct that, and the engine keeps on learning. So more and more information it collates, the more intelligent data from different organization. But if you want it to basically have work in a way that your organization performs, then it has to basically have the organization data as much as possible to able to basically protect that. So it's a patent pending. So the KA has actually filed a patent on this, so they are waiting for basically approval on this technology which they have developed. So let me just talk about a vis-a-vis comparison between manual estimates and USEP estimates, right? So the sum of actuals are 80% more than if you look at these graphs, which are like orange and these are like blue ones, right? The reliability of the uh, developer estimates are fairly low, primarily due to, as I mentioned earlier, developer optimism, right? So developer optimism is that, okay, they will basically look at happy path, and there is no looking at basically the challenges which may come and the which may be encountered. So, and we are not really using past data, right? Event-based scheduling, even if we really look at our past data, so if we, even if we just go to if you are logging work in Jira, for example, right? So if you are logging work, right, so that is going to give a fair amount of visibility that if I have committed X hours, I could not complete in those X hours, or I could actually complete much beyond those X hours. So that is going to be basic, that is going to be a more logical basis of taking a decision for future, right? It's not really, if you are just keep on continuously taking decisions on, I think it's really going, it's a recipe of disaster, for primarily because of the fact it's going to lead to eventually, because you are not really taking in the consideration which what you have done in past. Where I think the key point here is that the more data you have and assimilate that data, may do some crunching on that, and that could still lead to giving you better estimates. So that's what the USEP as a platform is doing it for you. So for you to have able to basically have that data, assimilate that data, then come plot that data into a graph, and then come up with some metric, that is basically going to be a lot of work for even developer to maintain, and even for the product owner to basically manage that. So that's where USEP as a platform comes in ability, because it's driven by the data, it's not really driven by anybody's. Once you get, it's going with driven by data which has been historically accumulated, crunched, and the inferences have been made from those data. So there is no bias because there is no human intervention. So humans are really culprit in terms of leading to the bias. So that's where, if you look at USEP as a platform, it has like past data which is basically using it with prediction. So there is no bias primarily in terms of human intervention, or anybody's gut feel, or anybody's influence, right? So it's basically driven from the data which is there, and competencies of the developers. So again, as I mentioned, it's not taking the data in isolation, right? Competencies of user doesn't mean anything, right? If I am a novice developer, I am going to take much more time. If I am an expert developer, I am going to get much lesser time. Or if I have a skill in a particular technology but I don't have a skill in a particular other technology, right? So skill plus the experience is what counted, and that's what is accounted into the user platform, right? So USEP generates estimates closer to actual. This we ourselves tested for when we were developing. When we started working with Bharati on developing this, we wanted to validate it quickly. So the way of validation was that we gave our developer to estimate going to take to develop this app, and we were actually pleasantly surprised to see that, okay, whatever estimates our developer has given, what came out auto USEP engine was like fairly very close to each other, right? So if you look at this graph, as the time goes on, the basically the estimations are basically more closer to the reality. So it's as and when your data evolves, there is historical data available, but every organization has its own way of doing estimation. So as and when we keep on crunching that data, the estimate exactly what actual should be. So what value it brings to the organization? So that obviously brings us to the question that okay, all this is fine, that you are doing the estimations and all this, but what is basically value it's going to bring to the developer and the product owner? So basically developer is able to track his productivity over period of time, right, and also realize which skills he needs to focus more. So he's basically motivated, and also if he's basically able to improve, that his estimations are improving over the time, and he's taking lesser time for basically completing particular task, and he's able to see that there is a drop in amount of time he's taking to complete particular task, then he is more happy and motivated, right? So you should basically becomes the caretaker of the performance of the person, right? So you don't have to really depend on the manual understanding of that somebody's way of thinking about your performance, right? It's just driven by totally from the data, and it basically gives you sense of accomplishment, because you are improving step by step and day by day. From the project manager or product owner point of view, you are able to assess team utilization. So you are able to identify which person is performing better on which particular technology, right? And there is a dashboard basically which helps you to basically identify that okay, this particular person is much better into this particular technology, but he is not into that particular technology. So that's where you could basically feed in more, maybe do identify some trainings, identify some mentoring, right? And then you are able to basically give better estimates, right? So ultimately the goal of any organization who is doing any sort of development software services, they want to estimate better, so that they are able to commit to better deadlines to the customer. So that's the end goal. So we are able to basically estimate with the real data at the project level, not really driven by somebody's gut feel or somebody's optimism bias. So when you integrate estimation center of excellence and teams with measurement, so there is basically you have, if it's at the organization level, organization is able to do a reliable commits. They are able to basically give better commitments to the customer to improve their corporate image across the basically plethora of service providers. And if basically both individual impact is seen, then highly charged environments, everybody is basically more and more services and more features to the customer. There is a global knowledge base which is built up over the period, and higher productivity is seen between the teams, and there is an increased collaboration, and there is a consistent speed of delivery, right? So speed of, it's not important really, it's important to increase the speed of delivery, but what is more important is to be the consistent in your speed of delivery, right? If you look at agile as a principle, it focuses on the consistency rather than really that okay, you should do say so many features in a particular release. The idea is to be basically consistent, so that you ability to the ecosystem, right? So when you are basically giving an estimate, to basically give the estimate as closer as to the reality as possible, right? It's not about just that okay, something which is going to just be done in 1 month, right? It's more about whatever timelines or deadlines we are committing to, we are able to meet that particular deadline which we are setting to our customer, or basically internal stakeholders, right? So that's the whole idea. Be consistent. It's not just about increasing the speed, it's about being consistent with whatever speed you are there, so that you're able to add better predictability in the whole way you are estimating. So application features. So I'll quickly talk about some of the application features. Obviously, Sushant in detailed manner into the demo, but I'll just quickly walk you through. So from the product owner point of view, it gives you basically what happens that when you do a story based project management, right? You are doing a scrum. Then what is the next step, that when you once you've decided the story, it need to be manually broken down into tasks, right? That's a tedious exercise. Either product owner has to do or developer has to do. So that's what USEP platform does for you. So it's basically create tasks from user stories automatically, so you don't have to really worry about breaking a user story into the task. And then you estimate, USEP also estimates the task for you. You can always review those estimates, override them if you want, if you feel that okay, the estimates with your experience are not really looking accurate, or basically is high or low, whatever you feel, you could possibly override that, right? That you can do as a product owner. From the developer point, once the estimates has been generated by the product owner through user platform or his understanding, you could basically review as a developer and re-estimate. So there is like a developer estimate, there's a product owner estimate, and then once you have actually finalized the estimate, you commit that task estimate. So because you say that okay, this is the task is going to take, whether you are committing to the estimate which is generated by USEP or by your product owner or by yourself, right? You could basically, even the developer can override the estimate. So we are giving complete flexibility in the value chain to the product owner to set as his experience estimate based on his experience, or a developer based on. And once you have completed a task, you basically would be logging actuals. So the user platform will be basically keeping track of that, whether you what you committed, are you able to fulfill, what was deviation, and it learns from that. Okay, you are able to complete some task in much lesser time, then it learns from it, and then it basically performs, take that consideration in the future, right? Otherwise there's no point, right? If you keep on correcting the estimates all the time, then there's no point of using a platform like USEP, right? You might as well keep on doing manually. So that's the beauty of the platform, that once you have actually modified something, or you have basically corrected something into terms of estimations, then it learns, and in it will take that into consideration. So there are some project configurations available, as I was talking about earlier. So it's basically driven by primarily what platform the project is, right? What technology it's going to use, and then what is application type. So all these things are taken into consideration. So the estimates are not driven in isolation. There are some inputs which are really being taken into consideration, and those inputs are basically used to basically bring much better estimation. So team competency management. So there is obviously you'll have to take the team competency in the consideration, in terms of, if I may be an expert developer in a particular technology, I may be a novice into a particular developer, right? A particular technology. So those things are taken into consideration in terms of experience and all, and then you can add basically multiple competencies for a particular person. So because it's not like you across the board you will be expert. There will be technologies which you will be novice, and there will be technologies which you would be expert. So those things are configurable, and those can be configured, and these are really the key inputs to making the estimations better. And as I mentioned, powered, so it's basically machine learning powered, NLP ML powered story to task prediction. So once you have given it a story, then the engine will automatically break it down into the task. So you really don't have to worry about breaking it down into the task. You can accept those tasks which have been automatically generated. You can modify those, add your own tasks as well. So, and all these will, the beauty of this platform is that it keeps on learning from this, right? It's not really like if you modify something today, it will not really change anything in future. It's definitely going to change the way it works in future. That's the idea, that it basically is learning continuously with the actual inputs. It has some historical data, based on that it's doing the prediction. But as and when we keep on adding more data, it will keep on learning over the period of time. So task estimates have been broken down. The estimates are thrown by the engine itself. Like if you say these are like a example of database for logging assessments, right? So there is like USEP has given 4 hours 28 minutes, PM project manager has given 3 hours, developer has given 4 hours, right? So these are like kind of three estimates which are there. One is automatically coming, which is 4 hours 28 minutes, and there is a project manager who feels that it could be possibly done in 3 hours, and then saying that no, it's going to take me 4 hours. So these are like kind of become seed predictions. These data is sent back to the backend, and then backend basically learns from these kind of estimates which are there generated, and then it also takes in consideration whether you said 4 hours but you actually took 5 hours, or you actually took 3 hours 30 minutes. So those actual estimates are also taken into consideration for future estimation, so that you are able to get reliable estimates as and when you move ahead with your doing estimations. So better analytics with USEP dashboard. So this dashboard is currently not part of Jira app, which is available, but these on the USEP platform. So which basically gives you that how many work units you have basically completed, what productivity has been at the individual level, how you have been improving, right? So and based on the skill, what is the productivity level for each skill which you have, and you could basically have that into the individual level to basically track the performance at individual level and at org level. So with this, if you have any questions, I can take that, or we'll move to the live demo.
Viswajit, that's really an interesting concept, and the way you showcase the platform, right? I mean, it has got a plethora of opportunities and features. This is something which is really interesting, and we should try. Yeah,
Sure.
participants, the forum is open for you for any questions. You can either chat or you can unmute and ask the questions. If you don't have any queries, you can just ping in the window, because we need participation from all the participants. It seems, Rupam, do you have any queries? Because you are one of the most active guys in the forums.
As of now, I don't have any queries actually. If in case I have, I'll definitely post it in the chat window.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, and feel free to reach out to me. My email ID is vishwajit.singh@amrutsoftware.com. Right, you can always write to me. I'll be more than happy. And if you are trying and you want to basically learn more about it and have one-to-one demo or something for your organization or for yourself, just for the exploration perspective, I'm more than happy to basically assist you with that. So with this, if there are no questions, I'll just hand over to Sushant, who will be walking you through the demo, and we will be taking on any questions we have.
Viswajit, could you please ping your contact details, like the email address and the
Sure.
marketplace plugin location on this chat
Yeah.
window?
Yes, I will do that. I'll do
Sure.
that.
Perfect. Thank you.
And LinkedIn as well, please.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Viswajit, if you feel, because sometimes your voice is breaking, probably you should have to turn off your camera, I believe, to save the bandwidth and get it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure. So Sushant, your
Prashant has access, right?
yeah, I made him host just now. So
Okay, because he's not visible in the attendees.
okay. Yeah, he's there. No?
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, Sushant, you should be able to present and should be able to host. I see you have the access.
Hey, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So thanks for the opportunity to show USEP in action, and I'll just take you through the different features that Vishwajit has explained just. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Visible.
Yeah, yeah. So first of all, we'll just start with from the configuration point of view. So what USEF offers to configure, and then we'll move actually how it gives you the ML powered story to task prediction. Okay. So basically, so it is more important to make a reliable estimate to know so what type of project is, and so and from which technology, what type of domain it has, and so what application type it has. So basically the USEP gives you to decide the platform, domain, and application type. So in this case, so we are just configured this project for the web app development, so which comes under the healthcare domain. And so currently we don't know so what type of application is, so we have just set it to no knowledge. Okay. So for a platform, so we get lots of different platforms to choose from. So there are server, Salesforce, mainframe, iframe, iOS, and many others. So, and since the industry is vast, and so you may have different set of domains, teams and customers are working, and you are developing the apps for them. So basically, you can get a chance to choose the domain, and along with that, so you also get the application type to choose from. And then so as Vishwajit told that, so it is more important to know and understand so who knows what. So basically the team competencies plays a main role, so before generating any estimate or for them, so because skill sets and the experience matters most. So here basically you can just manage all the team competencies, where you can have a single team competency or multiple team competencies as well, because there are lots of cases where the same developer has knowledge in different set of domains and languages. So here you can see the Anita Robin has is a software engineer, and so she has different set of proficiencies. For example, you have language proficiency, you have a task experience, then what domain knowledge you have in that particular sector. For example, we are in healthcare, and so here you can see the domain proficiency as nominal. Even you get to choose what type, what is the work experience you have, and you get to choose a different set of values over here. So now let's move to actually generate a story and how these configurations gets a reliable estimate. We'll see that in action. So this is the one of user story I have, so which I'll be using to demo this. Basically, the user story tells that. Let me just create. Okay, so the user story from the healthcare domain, and it says that as a user need to provide information regarding the mobility, vision, and physical disability of the patient in the assessments. So, and we'll try to break down into the task automatically. So where the USEP engine will work in the backend, and it will give you the set of tasks associated with that particular user story. So here you will get the option to basically predict the task from that particular story, and I'm just clicking on that. And so basically it sends out this particular story to the backend, and USEP works from the data set it has, and it immediately generates a task for you. And I have got two tasks now, so which basically tells me that so you basically need a form for a user to provide the information regarding the mobility, vision, and physical disability. And also it tells that because nowadays so we are mostly exposing and we are connecting to the systems with the help of APIs, and tells that so you need to be get API to basically user to provide information, right? And now at the point you see that, so there is something missing in this, and you get access to basically add your task into this, and you can just give all this task to the USEP engine, and basically again it generates for you. And if you feel that, so you don't want some particular task to be estimated, and you say that this to be deleted, basically you can delete this. So here I see, so there is something missing, like I need a database for logging these assessments. So basically I can just add this. I can add and I can accept, and it basically processes these all three tasks, and it gets the USEP estimate from the backend. Yeah, so basically it analyzed all the tasks you have given, and it generated these estimates for these three tasks. Okay. So at this point, so you get a control to basically decide so whether the USEP generated estimate, and you can decide so what estimate it will take from your experience as a project manager, and you can add your own estimate. So let's say the form will need more than 3 hours, then you can basically add this. So here you see it could be really exact, and you can just, if you want to add, you can add, otherwise you can skip it. So it basically considers that. So let's say it needs a 3 hours or 350, so I'll just do that. And you say database could be a 7 hours, then I'll just add and I'll just accept. So what at this stage, what happens, it automatically links all your these three tasks to that particular story, and it gives you the overall estimate that is required for that particular story to complete. So here you can see the total estimate for this particular story is 13 hours, 13.41 hours, and the PM estimate given is 13.5 hours. So you get a overview that so how long this particular a user story will take, and so you have 3 associated tasks along with this user story, where basically you can now assign to different set of users or based on your requirements. Now I'll just open this particular task, and if I just go to this task, so even I can see the link to that particular story. And so here it tells that for that particular task, the PM estimate given is 3 hours, and the estimate is 2.3 hours. So now, so once it is assigned, for example, now it is assigned to the default assignee. Let's say Janki is a project lead, and now I want to assign this particular task to Akshayan, right? Now, as developer, you should have the freedom to estimate, or give your estimate. So which you can do from here, and you can change the different set of attributes based on your experience and your understanding for that particular task. So it has predicted that the work unit is a form. So, and since you can see that you need a form, and it tells that so this is a form development, and the development type, you see if it is a new development, you can make change, right? And if you see this is a little complex for you, then you can change the task complexity as well, and it automatically generates a new estimate for you based on these attributes configured. So I'm just submitting this, and let's see. So earlier estimate was 2.3 hours. Now you can change from 2.8 hours to the 6 hours, the 6.46 hours. So based on the developer competencies, you can basically estimate the task. And to have a high level view, so how a different estimate varies. For example, the USAFE estimate and your PM estimate and the my estimate. So basically this my estimate is nothing but a developer can estimate this particular task and he can add his own estimate and just commit. As a developer, let's say I need a 5 hours to do this, you can basically add that, and so you are good to commit and you can just start working on it. And even if you assign this task to somebody else, then you will have the different set of estimates for you based on your skill set you have, and you can just manage all those team competencies under the team settings, right? And so once your work is done, so you can simply log the work. And this way you can just log all the footprint, and so at the end, so as a project manager, he will get the overall view for that particular sprint. And I think this is all about so how it currently works.
Yeah. So thanks, Sushant. So I think now we are open for any discussions or any queries which you might have, or any inputs which you want to share with us. So I think the floor is open for every their feedback or their whatever. What it's just open for any discussion on anything. Yeah.